Great. So good evening, everyone. As Travis said, my name is Yvette Alvarez. I am the Community Health Education Consultant at Horizon NJ Health. And welcome to the third Roots to Prevention Family Cooking Demo. I'd also like to thank our host, Parkside Business and Community in Partnership, for bringing us all together, as well as our other stakeholders who are joining us today, like iCreate. And to get more information about Roots to Prevention, the Roots to Prevention initiative, you can go to the website, rootstoprevention.com, which I believe Travis has put into the chat. For those of you who may not know or joining us for the first time, the Family Cooking Demo is just one of the Roots to Prevention initiatives to get you and your families involved in healthy foods. And one of the ways we do that is by asking for volunteers to be part of an event such as today. And so, it's a challenge to prepare healthy foods. The Family Cooking Demo is a challenge to prepare a healthy meal using, many of the ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry. They're not, it's difficult to come up with something new. Many of the ingredients are just, basic stuff, but we find that when you cook as a family, you get to enjoy it more, you get to spend more family time, and sometimes your kids come up with much better ideas than the adults do. So again, for more details, or if you are interested in signing up to be the family to participate in a family cooking demo, and for additional details, go to the Roots to Prevention website. One other initiative that I wanted to mention was the Teaspoon of Love cookbook that was created in collaboration primarily with iCreate and a contribution from other stakeholders. The book is available, which I believe the link again will be made available in the chat. And then the last incentive I wanted to share with you is that for anybody who is joining us today, whether you are participating as a family, part of the family cooking demo, or if you are just joining, the presentation to learn more about and participate today, Rowan University students are making an opportunity available for anybody who would like to have a complimentary one-on-one cooking Zoom meeting to discuss nutrition and healthy eating options, okay? And that also has been, the link to that has been shared in the chat, but it is also available on the Roots to Prevention website. So hopefully, I know that we've given you a lot already to think about, some links that we hope that you will visit. And at this point, I'm actually going to introduce my colleague, Edgar Osorio, who is going to provide you with some information about NJ Family Care. Edgar?
Thank you so much, Yvette. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Edgar Osorio. I'm a community health rep for Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield in New Jersey. And pretty much what that does, or what my position entails, is that you'll see us out in the field before COVID to help people enroll into Medicaid. So before COVID, we usually had the vans out. We were attending a whole bunch of health fairs, and we were helping promote everyone who is looking for health insurance to enroll into Medicaid or find out what is their appropriate insurance. So what I want to discuss with you guys today are 3 ways of how you guys can apply for NJ Family Care. Just a quick note, NJ Family Care and Medicaid are pretty much changeably between the two. So if you see NJ Family Care or you hear NJ Family Care or Medicaid, just know I'm talking about the same program. So anyways, first starts, I'm just gonna really quick share my screen. Before COVID started, it was very common for people just to go into the office of Board of Social Services, where they would go in person to apply. You'll wait at a line. They'll call your name, they'll give you a paper application, you'll fill it out, and then you'll hand it in, and then wait to see what the response is. But however, due to COVID, a lot of the offices are currently closed to the public, or a lot of the workers are currently moved from working from home. So the next best available option would be to actually call this number right here, which is the 1-800-701-0710 number. And that's the number for NJ Family Care. There you would be able to follow the prompt, speak with the health benefits coordinator, and from there, they'll be able to do an application over the phone. If for whatever reason, you just don't have time because it is operating through business hours of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday and Thursday, and then 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're not available for those times, then you can actually go ahead onto the njfamilycare.org website, and you'll be able to apply. What I have in front of you guys is the actual website of NJ Family Care. As you can see, they give you all the information as far as from what is NJ Family Care all the way down to if you need any other helpful links or if you need to apply, which you can go ahead and click on the star and it'll take you directly into the application. I would recommend that you guys would register so that way in the case or instance that you are going through your application and you don't have the information in front of you that you need, you can save it, log out, and then when you're ready, come back in, you'll log back in and all your information will be there ready. Now, if for whatever reason you don't have a laptop or you don't have access to the internet or a smartphone, this is where we would come into play. So I can leave you guys my contact number, or you can do it through text or you can do it through call. And basically what I'll do is I'll set up an appointment with you. We'll go over it with the phone and I'll be able to help you fill out an application. From there, if you guys have any questions as far as like what are your benefits entail, I'll go through the whole entire application and make sure that you guys have all your all your questions answered. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell of like, what do I do? If you guys have any questions as far as your health benefits, like what are you covered with, or if you need to get replaced, I'll also have my contact available for you guys. And let's have a chit chat. So let's see what we can do so I can help you guys out. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do as a community health rep. Thank you guys so much for having me here. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and pass it back to Yvette.
Oh, guys, I keep forgetting about that mute button. All right, thank you so much, Edgar. So as you know, for those of you who are joining us into the start of today's session, today's the third family cooking demo. And before we show the video of the family and give some introductions, I'm actually gonna do a brief overview of some nutrition, as well as some food safety. But before I get started, I do want to share something with you all that what we found is that a lot of people are not aware of. There are many resources available, food resources available to the community, but most of the time people don't know where to go. So I'm going to share two statements with you that people have. I'm going to read two statements to you that people have shared about their experiences around food. The first statement is, we worried whether our food would run out before we got money to buy more. And the second statement is, the food we bought just didn't last and we didn't have money to get more. So was that either of these statements often true, sometimes true, or never true for your household in the last 12 months? So you can feel free to answer out loud or maybe in the chat. But if either of those two statements apply to your situation, one of the reasons why I share it with people is because many people have found themselves in that predicament and they don't know where to access additional resources. So if either of these two statements apply to you, please let me know. You can connect with me. I will enter my information into the chat. This way you can email me or call me and we can find some resources that are available for you right in your local community, okay? So to begin, let me share my screen. Where is it? Okay. I think that'll do it. Can you guys see that? Just 1 second. Sorry, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties here. Okay, now you can see it. Okay, great. So we're going to talk a little bit about what My Plate is. Some of you might have heard of it before. If you have younger children that are in school, it's something that, I know that they discuss in school, but My Plate is the foundation of what a healthy plate should be. And there are many resources online. ChooseMyPlate.gov is an amazing website. They have great information, great ideas for eating healthy and what that different foods and meal plans, all available for free, as well as an app that you can download to get additional information. Okay. So, but My Plate is a kind of a reminder, right, of, as I said, what a healthy plate looks like. And they break it up into 5 different groups. As you can see here, you have the fruits and vegetables on the left side. So they want to encourage half of your plate be fruits and vegetables, apples, pears, strawberries, as well as things like carrots and spinach, broccoli, right? I always tell people, fill your plate with those vegetables that you really enjoy the most, okay? So most of Americans are not eating the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. And when you think about the foods that you put on your plate every day, right? If you take a moment to think about the food that is on your plate, it should be very colorful. And most of the time, it's the fruits and vegetables that contribute to those colors. When you have fruits and vegetables, a variety of fruits and vegetables, there are contributing different nutrients to your body, okay? And so you want to try to, what I like to do is try to fill my plate first with the fruits and vegetables, or vegetables, and have your fruit on the side before adding anything like grains and protein on there, right? Because oftentimes we tend to eat with our eyes, right? If we're really hungry, what do? You start to fill your plate up with food. So if your plate is mostly those vegetables, then you'll have maybe just a smaller portion or a smaller area to add the grains and protein. Grains are anything like whole wheat pasta. It could be things like quinoa or farro, which are newer grains that many people are not familiar with. One of the benefits of whole grains is that they make you feel fuller for a longer period of time. It takes your body a little longer to digest them, which is really good because you don't have those sugar spikes that happen when we eat white pasta or white rice, because our bodies are always looking to maintain a balance, right? It's not very good when when you have a sugar spike, meaning that you're eating foods that when your body breaks them down, they're converted into sugar, right? And we know that high blood sugar can contribute to diabetes. So you want to stay away from things or foods that are processed, like those white breads and white pasta, and try to incorporate more foods that are whole grains. And how do you know if they're whole grains? Well, you got to read the label, right? Look at the packaging to make sure that it says whole grains. And just a reminder that not all brown foods are whole grains. So you do have to make sure that you're looking at the label, the nutrition label, the ingredients, or somewhere on the packaging, it should say that. As well. And then, so you have here, a quarter of your plate should be protein, things like chicken, beef, pork, fish, right? Those are all great forms of protein, but we know some people prefer not to eat any animal products. So you can still get a good amount of your protein source from things like lentils, beans, greens, right? A lot of people don't think about vegetables as a protein source, but you can get protein from other sources, okay? If you are someone who does eat meat, just remember that you wanna make sure that you're eating pieces of meat, if it's like chicken or beef or pork, that they're very lean, meaning that you cut away or trim away any of the fat, because that can contribute to poor health outcomes later on in life. And you know what happens oftentimes is that when we're younger, people don't realize all those maybe poor decisions that we make, eating habits, that they add up over time. So if you start to incorporate some healthier habits as part of your everyday lifestyle, you will see that you'll see the benefits to them over a longer period of time. Okay. So it's not only important of what you eat, but also remember that the way you prepare your foods is also key, right? Because we know that chicken is a little healthier than beef, right? Everything in moderation. So if you are preparing chicken or even pork chops or pork, you know, it's better to cook them in the oven, roast them, grill them, as opposed to frying them, right? So think about that. If you're someone who typically eats, let's say, beef 3 days a week, why don't you challenge yourself to maybe eat it twice a week, right? And little by little, start to make those changes as part of your diet, and you will see that you may start to feel better. You may, if you're someone who's trying to lose weight, you may realize that you're losing weight a little bit faster. But as I said, these changes that we recommend, uh, they are difficult to incorporate sometimes, right? Because sometimes we'll say to you or suggest that you try some new foods. But if you start to make those changes, right? Let's say that you're somebody who normally drinks soda every day for dinner. How about, you know, cutting back and only drinking that soda on the weekends and having something a little healthier to drink during the week. And before you know it, you may cut out soda altogether. Okay. So that's how we start to incorporate new changes into our diet. And then the last section of my plate you see on the side here is dairy. And dairy could be, you know, from dairy, we get calcium, we get vitamin D. And typically, right, we think when we think about those vitamins, we think of getting them from things like milk or yogurt, which are all great. But if you do opt for them, make sure that, you know, try to go for a low fat or fat-free option, because they're much healthier for you, right? Lower in fat. And if you are sensitive to dairy products, there are other alternatives, right? You can still have get the same vitamins and minerals from, excuse me, alternative sources like almond milk or oat milk. And there's even a soy-based yogurt if you're interested, right? And you can get those vitamins as well from things like broccoli and spinach, right? Again, a lot of times people don't realize that you can get calcium from greens. So I mentioned to you before about transitioning some of those unhealthier foods to prepare them a little differently, that if you normally fry, it would be better to bake, right? So also making some choices and changes as you're in your diet, you will see over time will improve your health, right? Things like having a whole grain cereal instead of sugar cereal. Sometimes we don't realize how much sugar is in cereal. And as I mentioned earlier, it's important that you know what you're putting into your body by reading the nutrition label. A great alternative to, let's say, a milkshake is a fruit smoothie, right? And one tip that I really like to share with people is that, you know, during the summer months, or, you know, different times of year, you have different fruits and vegetables that's their prime season. And, you know, you might buy them because they're on sale, but if you don't eat them right away, they tend to go bad. So you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of the time when fruits and vegetables are in season. And whatever you're not consuming, it's easy to freeze, right? A lot of people don't realize that you can freeze things like peppers, you can freeze strawberries, bananas, and many other fruits. And so you're purchasing them at a time when they're in season and maybe lower in cost, but then you can use them later on as part of a fruit smoothie, right? And it's okay that they're not, you know, that they're frozen, because that's normally how you make them. So hopefully this gives you this, you can see a few ideas of how you can swap out some unhealthy choices for a healthier option. It's important that we know how many calories are going into our body, but the amount that we're burning will depend on our activity level. Or I should say that the amount of calories that we need really depend on our age and activity level, right? It's important that even if you want to gain weight, that you're feeding your body those nutritious calories and nutritious foods, because if you know, junk in, junk out. So you want to make sure that you are feeding your body exactly what you want to, like for those people who want to gain weight, right? Your body needs those nutrients. And try to focus on those foods that are full of vitamins and minerals, and especially fiber. Fiber can be found in foods that many plant-based foods. If your diet consists primarily of meat or dairy products, then most likely you're not getting the amount of fiber that you need. And fiber, you can get fiber in whole grain foods, in things like oatmeal. And just to give you an idea, one serving of oatmeal, I believe more or less has about 5 or 6 grams of fiber in it, right? And you wanna try to consume foods that have more fiber in it. Fiber helps your digestive system and can lower your risk for certain cancers as well. So, like I said, know the facts, right? It's important that you read the nutrition label, because they're going to give you lots of information and that we're going to see on the next slide. Okay, so if you're somebody who hasn't really focused or thought about what the nutrition label looks like, you can see here, right? You still have time, run into your kitchen and go grab something. I always encourage people to grab something that you normally would eat, right? And take a look at the nutrition label as we go through it. So as you could see, starting at the very top, this is a nutrition label for a serving size of 1 burger, right? This 1 burger more or less will weigh about 91 grams. And I want to mention that oftentimes people think that the nutrition label is for the entire package or for an entire bottle. So it's really important that you understand what the serving size is. If the serving size says 2, right? And let's say there's 2 burgers in this packaging, and they give you the calories for, it says 110. So those calories are going to be for 1 burger, not for 2. So if you eat both burgers, then you got to remember that you have to double the amount of calories, as well as all the other information that's noted on here. Okay, so this burger in particular has 110 calories. It has 2 grams of fat. And of those 2 grams of fat, one gram is saturated fat, which we know those are the fats that we want to stay away from. Okay, so whenever you're reading something that that breaks down the fat, you want to lean towards something that has unsaturated fats in it and not saturated. Excuse me. This also tells you the amount of cholesterol, right? Cholesterol is the amount of fat that's in our blood. So if you're consuming something that does have a lot of cholesterol in it, that means that that's also going to, you're going to take up some of that bad cholesterol. And as you may be aware, our body needs cholesterol, right? Our body produces, or our liver produces 75% of the cholesterol that we need. The other 25% comes from the foods that we eat. And we know that things like fried foods, things that have a lot of fat in them, will contribute to the unhealthy cholesterol that we don't want and we're trying to stay away from. Okay. This burger has 1 gram of carbohydrate. And as you can see here, it has 0 fiber, right? Remember what I said to you earlier, that meat products, dairy products don't have fiber in them. So you want to try to get as much, eat foods that have some fiber in it. And then this doesn't have any added sugars, but it does have 20 grams of protein, right? And so it's definitely a good protein source. But one important thing that I overlooked here is that it has 720 milligrams of sodium. And as you may know, sodium is salt, right? And sodium can contribute to high blood pressure. So this is a pretty salty burger. And just to give you an idea, right, the American Heart Association recommends that as a healthy adult, you'd not consume more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium, which is equal to about a teaspoon of sodium. And so within that burger alone, you're almost halfway there, right? And for people who have high blood pressure or who are monitoring their blood pressure, this is going to be really important to note, okay? So this is really important information that you want to keep your eye on when you're eating foods. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about any of the things that we went over, or any information that might surprise you? I do want to note that the nutrition label actually has recently been updated, and it may look a little different like this. They have revised it to make it a little easier to read. And I know that when you go to the store, if you've recently purchased a bag of, let's say, chips, that usually is more than 1 serving, it will show you what looks like 2 nutrition, like a larger nutrition label, and it'll show you a column for 1 serving, and then the other column, it'll tell you how many calories for the entire bag, right? So if you haven't seen that yet, I definitely encourage you to check that out. Okay. So if you, Travis, if you can share the information about the food storage. Oh, thanks. Yep, perfect. So I just want to mention really quick about some food safety tips. As you know, right, we're talking about cooking, and we want to make sure that we're preparing our kitchen in a healthy way. Obviously, hygiene is key. And what this past year has told us, that we got to make sure that we're washing our hands, making sure that our cleaning surface, the area that we're going to be cooking in, is also clean. Be sure to wash those fruits and vegetables that you're consuming. Anything that you're going to you're going to cook with, you want to make sure that you're rinsing it out thoroughly. Okay. And having separate utensils for both the any foods that might be raw, and utensils for foods that you're using that are already prepared. Okay. Next. So one of the biggest problems that people experience, and sometimes don't even realize that they're doing it, is some cross-contamination, meaning that they will touch various things in their kitchen as they're cooking before washing their hands. So that's why it's really key. So if you're preparing fruits and vegetables, after you've prepared, let's say, a piece of chicken on a raw cutting board, and you're going to cut your fruits, your vegetables, make sure you either have a separate cutting board, or that you wash it out thoroughly before you're cutting your fruits and vegetables. You don't want to contaminate those 2 things. When you're putting any kind of raw foods into the refrigerator, make sure they're keeping them covered. And you want to put them on the lowest shelf possible in your refrigerator, because if that raw food does leak or drip or anything like that, you don't want it to fall onto food that's already stored, cooked in your refrigerator. It's going to contaminate it, and then you end up having to throw it away. Also, making sure that you're cooking the food to the appropriate temperature is important. It's, you know, a lot of people do get sick because foods are not cooked properly. So if you don't have one already, I definitely would suggest that you make an investment into a food thermometer, which can be relatively inexpensive. Next, thank you. And then lastly, you know, actually I had already touched on that, making sure that you cook food to the appropriate temperatures. And as you can see here are, you know, things like chicken should be cooked to a temperature of about 165, ground meat 160, seafood 145 degrees Fahrenheit. But the only way you're going to know that is by having a thermometer. Okay. One tip that I really like to share with people is that when you go out to a restaurant, a great way to not overeat is to separate your food at the beginning. Ask for a to-go box so that you can put half of your food away, and then you end up having another meal for another day, okay? And also, I know a lot of people love to do this, eat cookie dough raw, or maybe they'll make a protein shake and put a raw egg in it. Just be careful. That's a definitely no-no. Anything raw dough or raw eggs can be contaminated, and if you consume them raw, they might make you sick. So I just wanted to touch on those quick food safety tips. And I'd like to hand it off to Kenny to introduce our family for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Well, we have our cooking demo here with the Smith family. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can jump right into the video, and then we'll have a little question and answer with the Smith family. All right.
The video's on if you want to see it.
This is Ava. And my name is Montasir. And I'm Daphne Christine. And today we're going to be doing the Teaspoon of Love Cookbook Challenge. We don't know what's up.
We can't hear nothing.
Can't hear anything?
Oh, they some pretty kids.
Can't hear it?
No.
Kenny, can't.
Oh, I hear it.
What kind of food do we have?
Oh, they're pretty.
Yes.
They're
Celery.
vegan.
Boy.
They're making some spicy soup, I guess.
Onion.
That hot sauce out.
All right, we also have some lettuce. We have some broccoli, some baby potatoes, and some carrots, and some peppers.
And what is
Some
this?
Candace's own hot
I've never
sauce.
even used this before.
Oh, she said make sure you're cooking your food properly to prevent you from being sick. You need to use a thermometer, food thermometer.
And squash, right?
Yeah, this is squash.
All right, so we got peas, so.
Yes, the other babies.
Okay, I
And
see
some
the
more
tongues. All right, so clearly we can make broccoli. I mean, we can make soup. So what ideas can we do? The vegan meal, we don't have any meat.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. We're gonna cut up these vegetables. Listen, all this stuff is healthy and it helps our gut. What happens to vegetables? Say it again. That's right. You get big and strong. Show those muscles. Yeah.
Now we have to figure out what we're gonna make. What are we gonna make? What are you girls gonna make?
We don't have any eggs.
We can make soup.
We can make soup.
Okay.
We can make the potatoes.
But we have to use everything on here, right? So we gotta use lettuce. Or can we make multiple meals, or can it be one meal? It have to be one meal.
Oh, we can do it. We can make a whole three course meal.
Okay. So somebody has to go potty. All right. So I think we should do 2 sets of meals. I think we should do a stew with just the celery, potatoes, and carrots. We make a side, and then we make a salad with normal broccoli and green onions. We should put in the stew. And we should put a squash. This is some type of squash in there. And we can use half the pepper for our stew and for our salad. And we can use the onion for our salad and our stew.
Sounds great.
Okay. Yeah. And we have our peas, so we can mix that in somewhere.
Let's get cooking, guys. We're gonna hand some to your side and some to our side.
So we already took the liberty of cleaning all the vegetables. That is very important to make sure you clean your vegetables. If you have some salt, you can clean it with a little bit of salt or a little bit of sugar to scrub it off, especially with your potatoes. Just make sure your vegetables are clean. And we're just gonna help the kids cut up the food. All right. Mia, let's cut what do you want to cut?
So we're making a stew. So we're gonna make our celery cuts nice and large, so that when they cook, they don't shrink down but so small.
Mommy's going to
Good job, Vanessa.
pay
Great job.
attention. Because you're cutting, so you can do that.
Great job. One second, please.
Actually, Mia, I have a task for you. I want you to break up the broccoli so we can get ready for our salad. You don't want to do that one. Can you move your arm? Mommy can't see you. I can't hold you, Ava. No, uppy baby. This is actually just like at home, where one kid always wants uppy.
So when your body needs energy, it uses the carbohydrates for energy. So if you're gonna go outside and run, eat some carbohydrates. But if you're gonna sit down and watch TV, don't eat the carbohydrates because it's gonna sit right in your body and not be used properly. Yeah, you can touch something.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about carbohydrates and what they do to the body.
Carbohydrates is so good. It's so delicious.
Carbohydrates are delicious,
It's
but
my favorite.
are to be eaten responsibly.
You got to wait.
That knife, baby, you have to get help with that knife.
Y'all took 2 bowls.
There,
Just pour it in there and then take all the big potatoes out. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna start getting I'm gonna cut the onion. Can you give me the onion, please? Mia, you have to be patient, okay? Because this knife is really sharp. And so we're gonna help you cut up the potatoes. Can I have the red onion?
so one trick you can do with onions is you can turn the cold water on in the house, and it can help limit that amount of tears that come when you cut the onion.
See, my grandma always taught me to put like I don't know my grandma, but I heard if you put a match between your teeth, don't light it, but if you put it between your teeth, then it kind of helps. I think it's over. After you like light it, just put the whole.
Foods have different cooking times. If you cook the celery at the same time as the potatoes, the celery is going to take longer to get softer. Same thing with the carrots. So you want to put the carrots in first, put the celery in with the carrots, because again, these foods have different cooking times, so you want a nice consistency across all your foods. You want everything to taste, you want everything to have the same texture when you bite into it. You don't want much food. Straight down. Good. When you cut a pepper, you cut off the head.
Leave some of that pepper for the salad.
And you cut off the butt. I know, funny word. And then you cut down the side to open it up.
Okay.
So then, hold on, stay still for a second. Yeah, you can eat some pepper. When you open it up, you can cut along the ridge to get out the inner parts of the pepper.
How is that?
Here, man, come on. Again, you cut down the side and cut out the inner part. And you
Then
can throw
how
this part
will
away.
I break it?
Or you can use it. Some people like to use it, but we're going to throw it away today. Just know that that's wasteful. What? Not using all parts of the vegetable. You got peppers? You got onions?
Yep, I need some pepper.
All right. Yeah, hold on.
You're not gonna cut the pepper off?
Because it's food, so a thicker cut is preferred.
Daddy,
Yes.
are we gonna do the carrots?
You want these cut down?
I do. I do one.
No, not that knife. Not that knife. That's called a paring knife, and that's for cutting like a small thing like an apple, and as you eat it. But we need a stronger knife to cut all these carrots.
You're not gonna cut the peppers off?
So a thicker cut is preferred.
Daddy,
No.
I'm gonna do
Will be cut down. All right, Vanessa, do some.
that.
Mia, if you eat all the food, we're not gonna have it.
I guess you don't mind.
So our carrots, they say that they're good for your eyes, so make sure you eat a lot of carrots, and it'll help your eyes be stronger as you get older in
We
life.
don't have carrots at home.
We don't have any carrots? We should go buy some.
Without a carrot?
I did one.
You did one by yourself?
Oh, I see too many fingers.
Push it. Good job. Great
Why
job.
don't my mama stop?
Yes, you may.
I didn't do it.
I don't know what is this. Good job. That is very interesting. Our first vegetables are going in the stove. Don't put it back. When you're not cutting, you put it down. When you're not cutting, you put it down.
I had to take it off because it was.
Yes. Well, those are our measuring cups, but if we needed a specific amount of maybe broth or salt or pepper, but we're gonna use a lot of broth because it's a big still, it's a big pot of still. So guys,
Start breaking up the,
with your
broccoli.
broth, you always wanna look at your nutritional facts. These broths and things come with a high sodium content. So you wanna make sure that like the box is really good, only 120 grams of sodium. That's actually 120 milligrams of sodium, that's really good.
I saw one Callie, she used these for slime.
Well, yes, you can use slime because when you measure, you get the right amount of ingredients.
I use it.
Good job, Chris. All right.
You use it.
Well, we can use it to pour the broth. I mean, we can use it so you can practice. Well, we need to start making a salad. While Mommy's going to start cooking.
Where's mine at?
Hold on. I'm just taking the first one off. So we're gonna take on the root of our lettuce. Now we have just the head that's left. Now, personally, I like to just break it off with my hands. Hold up, don't put in the knife. If you're not cutting, put the knife down. Here, you guys help break it. You break it up, yeah? Put it down. No, you gotta break it. No, like a piece of paper.
Oh, we didn't cut up. We gotta cook the squash.
Here.
Give me the
There you go, the lettuce. Break up the lettuce. Break it like a piece of paper, nice and small. Good job, girl. Here's a bowl. Good job. Okay, hold on. Let's slow down. Let's slow down. All right, now, one thing we always want to do is clean up our station because we're too messy right now, right? So let's get all the scrap food. Mia, if you're not cutting, keep the knife down. You gotta keep your hands clean. So we can eat this little stuff. All right, let's see how the squash goes.
honestly, this would be a good stir fry.
So, the squash, you definitely want to take out the root and the seeds of the squash. You don't want to cook with the whole thing.
What is that?
It's called squash.
No, it's that.
Oh, those are seeds. So we gotta take out the core. So now we're not eating seeds when we cook.
Garlic.
Okay.
I have to.
Great job. You guys are doing a great job. I don't need this.
That's my knife.
Not that knife, baby. This knife is for a different purpose.
Hello.
Come on. Hold on. Turn your hips. Because you're right-handed, you want to make sure you're standing with your right side so that you can cut better. Okay, so, is it yummy? Yeah, go ahead. All right, so then we have some squash,
Are you ready for that squash?
homegrown squash right in the backyard. Oh, okay, yeah, you can put
You're
that.
gonna do a few more?
Good job.
Okay. That's it?
No, we have money.
I'm gonna try
Well, we're gonna use the broccoli in our salad.
Nice.
Yes.
Someone making, egg salad?
We can use that when we pour peas, we can use the method, okay?
Sorry, it's getting salty.
Not yet. Let's finish making a salad. So we have our lettuce.
Yeah. That doesn't mean tomato. Yeah. We
Oh,
forgot the tomatoes.
oh no! They didn't get. Well, it's a surprise challenge, so they just didn't give any tomatoes. So now we have to be creative. What else can we use in our salad?
We can use these to make tomatoes.
Do we have to use the
Pepper.
We can use the peppers. Good. All right, let's cut up the peppers. Sure. No, not this knife, baby. This knife is for a specific purpose. We're going to put that over there. She's like, oh, good. No. Okay, come on, cut the pepper for the salad. Turn it.
I'll bring it up myself. Right?
Guys, we have just completed the Teaspoon of Love Cookbook Challenge. Right, guys? How do you feel?
How do you feel? How did you feel about cooking? Good?
How you feel? Look at the camera. So, yeah, it was an amazing, amazing experience. We were totally shocked with what we had.
Really?
A little bit.
The only thing that really shocked us was the butternut squash because I really never cooked with that. We're gonna put it in our salad. So, but we made a potato stew where we put pea, red onion, celery. What else we got in there? I think that's it.
And carrots.
And carrots.
So the big thing, everybody, is you saw we had the kids in the kitchen. Of course, first and foremost, their safety. But second to that, these young ladies are going to learn how to cook and how to take care of themselves when it comes to food. We're using healthy options, and it's going to just make us bigger and stronger.
Yes. So now we're going to taste it, and we're going to use this locally grown hot sauce. It's a little spicy, so we're gonna put a dab. Well, you don't have to put some in yours. So which bowl do you want to take?
I'm gonna take this.
Okay, which bowl do you want to take, Vanessa? Okay, here, babe.
Thank you.
And you want? I know one still want hot sauce, so we're gonna dab it up with hot sauce. Right? You want hot sauce? Mia, you want a little bit? It's
I
hot.
got a little bit. It's really hot.
It's real hot.
Now for the taste test. Delicious.
Is it good?
Yes. Oh, I don't mind toot my own horn. This is wow.
I mean, I like the seasoning.
Thumbs up.
It's like
You want some?
and look.
Oh, mine is spicy.
Okay, yeah. The fish really like it. I want some hot sauce. Blow it, Ava. Look, fish like it. We like it.
Good job. Good job, babe. Good job.
Teamwork is teamwork.
It does.
We always like to eat at the table together, but
That's why I said teamwork.
so bring your kids back in the kitchen. Gone.
All right, yeah, man. So the next family, we challenge you to the Teaspoon of Love Cookbook Challenge. You gotta come hard, man. This is an A+ right here.
So there you have it. Get out of here. So firstly, we definitely want to give a shout out to the Smith family. Really appreciate their cooperation and how fun they made it and how many awesome little shots and beautiful kid statements we got that night. So that was awesome. Definitely want to put them on their spot. Is Daphne or Montesir available to speak? Oh, maybe not. So we'll keep on moving, but
Sorry, guys.
Oh, there you go.
Can you just log me? I'm sorry, guys. It's like dinner time and
They're cooking again. They're cooking again.
and if you know how crazy, hold on, let me. Okay, now no, that one had hold on, babe. So if you know how crazy everything is in the Smith household, that's really how it is in real life. But we enjoy cooking. We enjoy cooking, and thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
I was surprised with that butternut squash. You go past it so many times in a supermarket, but you never ever I never really cooked from it before, but it was great, and we had a good time. The kids love cooking, so to be back in the kitchen and cooking with them, and taking time out.
Just a great experience, honestly. What did you guys think?
I
It was
enjoyed it.
phenomenal.
Yeah, so I thought it was great to see your kids in the kitchen. I agree. I think that it's important for kids to see where their food comes from, not only to prepare it, right? But if they're involved in that process, I think they learn where their food comes from. They see your healthy cooking habits, and they take that into adulthood for themselves, right? Because the habits that we have today, we have typically bought from when we were growing up. So I thought that was fantastic. And I saw your daughter eating that red pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she loved it. She loved it. So I thought that was fun.
She actually got that from Justin. Justin will always be at my house eating peppers, and she just kind of copied the trend.
Well, I'll tell you, my niece would never eat any vegetables. And a trick my mom did was she would serve her food with vegetables. It didn't matter if she ate it. Eventually she got curious enough, she tried it and she realized that she loved it. So, sometimes you gotta they see us and we're the examples that we're setting for our kids. So
100%.
So,
and I guess I have to ask you guys, what was a big challenge for you as you were doing it? What was something that, you really want everyone to take home with both the cooking aspect, the family concept of bringing it in? What was your challenge and what do you want everybody to take home?
So one of the big things I want to speak on is our eldest, Vanessa, who was in the yellow shirt. She's a very, very picky eater. And for her to be in the kitchen cutting and then all the way to the point of a served dish, she actually had a sense of pride that I'd never seen before. She really engaged with the food and owned it. And she took that pride and enjoyed the meal. So it was that was probably the biggest takeaway for me. What's about you?
Always try new things in the kitchen. Like I said, that butternut squash, I will never, but try new things and you never know. And if the kids see you trying it, they'll be willing to try it. So yeah, bring your kids to the kitchen. They love being with their parents and spending time with you in any way, shape, or form. So it's important to be together, eat together, and commune in a different way.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, we really appreciate you. It was amazing. And, you guys were our first full family. So that was fun and exciting. So, if we come across another family or anybody knows any full family out there, maybe we can get a little competition going.
We would love it. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, of course. And just a reminder to everyone out there, first and foremost, if you guys are interested or you want to, special and show us what you guys can do and what you guys cook on a regular basis. If you think you can step up to the challenge, check out the chat section. There's a lot of links and areas that you can go through for some resources, some forms, and be able to get involved in things like this. And then we will have our next cooking session on April 8th. We're going to take a session off, but we are going to come back April 8th and continue this on. So more than enough time for anyone out there to join in and get some cooking in the meantime.
Yo, Kenny, the links disappear sometime. Can you just go over the links so they know where to go if they wanted to sign up or even seen previous videos or watch any previous videos?
Sure. What we'll go through and we'll resend them out so that everybody can see what's going on and have access to the links. And with that, I'll pass it over to Yvette to close us out.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kenny, and the Smith family. So if you can, please give everyone, give them a round of applause because I know it's not easy, it's time consuming, and we really appreciate all the time and energy and effort that you put into, into participating today. So as Kenny said, our next session is going to be, April 8th? April 8th. And hopefully you will return just to, hang out with us, participate, give feedback. We really enjoy it. And if you decide to join, to be the family that takes on the Smith Families Challenge, invite your own families to join us to watch the event. Okay. Just in case, because I know some people joined us late, I want to make sure that everyone here is aware, whether you were the Smith family or just participating in today, joining us today, that you can sign up for a one-on-one Zoom meeting to discuss nutrition and healthy eating options with a student from Rowan University. It is something that they are offering. It's a great opportunity, and I will drop that link again into the chat, but I know that they're going to share it again just in case you want to sign up. Information is also available on the Roots to Prevention website. Okay, so I really do hope that you all enjoyed yourself, and I look forward to seeing you again April 8th. Have a great night, everyone.
Smith family, and have a great night, everyone.